hope for the rest of the season? And in terms of the morale of the team, where do you feel like it is as a veteran player, talking to the guys, talking to your teammates and coaches?
Well, I think at the end of the day, we play this game because we love it. And if you mean that, regardless of what the record is, you got to come to work every single day and try to get better because, the last thing you want to do is go out there and give it your half. And that's when you start to put yourself in predicaments, your body and whatnot. So I think you just got to just show that you love this game because you don't know what's going to happen. You can't predict the future. So you just got to go out there one day at a time. And that's going to continue to focus no matter what the record is.
Brennan, as someone that's been traded many times, what do you tell your teammates you head into the trade deadline? Obviously, that creates a lot of uncertainty, and Romeo tried to clear the air about that before this game. What do you tell your teammates?
At the end of the day, you just got to, once again, continue to focus and do what you can. Those things are out of God's control. So you can't be thinking about that. You just got to go and show up to work and show that you love this game and be there for your teammates, regardless what the rumors are. There's so many lies out there in our media today. And so we just got to tune out that noise and focus within our building, and that's the most important thing. I know it's a cliche answer, but I think that's what you got to do.
Kim Davis. Brandon Scott.
Hey, Brandon, what do you think you guys can do to be more consistent? We see the flashes, we see the ability. What do you think you guys can do to be more consistent on offense?
Be more consistent in practice.
I'm sorry, could you elaborate on that? I mean, do you guys have inconsistent practices or?
Just are what you repeatedly do. I think we can be more consistent in practice, and I think that'll show in the game. As far as getting into the details, that's, we keep that in the building. But just being more consistent at practice as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Brandon.
No problem. Have a good one, y'all.
Could you talk about what it's like to be playing for a team that has been as bad as you guys are?
Yeah, John. Oof. I mean, that was truth right there in that question, but it's very real, John. It's one of those things that's disappointing because we had, such high expectations with this team. Clearly, you look at it, the talent's there, but we have to go out there and execute as a team, as players first. We got to look at ourselves in the mirror. What can we do better as players? How can we execute the game plan better? How can we either, make suggestions to the coaches of, hey, for whatever reason, guys aren't understanding this part of the game plan or these plays aren't necessarily successful. Can we make suggestions to, suit the players that we do have right now so that we can go out there and be in better positions to, make plays and help this team win and just mesh together. So I think as frustrating as it's been at 1-5, that's the reality. We are a 1-5 team right now. And going into this bye week, each man, player, coach, got to look at themselves in the mirror first and hold themselves accountable, then hold their teammates accountable and coaches accountable of what can we do better moving forward?
Mark Berman.
Michael, along those lines, y'all had some critical penalties that hurt you.
Absolutely.
You had a block punt. You recovered an onside kick. There were some moments there. How do you build on this and try to turn it around?
Right. I mean, that's the thing, Mark. Every team in the NFL has firepower, but we have the capability to make those plays. We just have to be disciplined so that we can be consistent. The first drive, we get off the field. It's about to be a 3-and-out. We make the play. We execute the defense as we were supposed to. And it's supposed to be, getting off the field, 3-and-out. And we commit an illegal contact penalty, and it extends the drive, and they go down and score a touchdown, right? A couple times with offense, we make a big play, get down in the red zone, but there was a holding penalty. So it backs them up, and now we got a punt. Special teams, the very first punt return. DC gets a nice punt return. But there was a legal, blocking the back or holding call. And it negates it. Matter of fact, it backs our offense up. So we have to be way more consistent. We have the ability to make those big plays. We have the players, on paper. Again, we had such high expectations going into the season, but we just haven't been consistent enough. I think we need to continue to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what can we do better? And, as at that point was like, hey, coach, regardless of what's going on and where we're at, maybe some of the things that we're doing in part of the game plan, the guys that we have this year, they're not comfortable doing, but hey, let's make these suggestions and maybe this will help us win. And I think that's where we're at right now.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Michael, as one of the leaders of the team, what do you tell some of the younger guys and also older players to, when you're in this situation, you're not contending, you're not winning games, but you still have a lot of football left to play? Absolutely,
Aaron. And unfortunately, in my career, I've been in this situation far more than I've been on the contending for conference championships and divisional championships. And what you tell yourself, what you tell those younger players, what you tell the rest of the team and the vets is, man, this is what have you done for me lately, league? And they are going to be evaluating every single thing about this team moving forward for the rest of the season, about every single player. And so for a young guy, especially a rookie who's never been through this before, understand this. Nah, this is not all the season's over with. Let me just, take it in. No. Understand this. They are evaluating how do you react now? What type of player are you when you're 1-5? Are you going to go out there and just dog it? Are you going to go out there and try to get better every single week? Are you going to go out there and compete regardless of what your record is, regardless of what your situation is, your standing is? And I think a lot of vets know that, even though the Texans have had a lot of success here lately. I think a lot of vets know that. But the young guys, especially just letting them know it and understanding, like, nah, this isn't a time to, tank it in or pack it in. It's time to actually, focus on your technique, get better.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, Michael, considering how things have gone for you guys, do you still get the sense that the defense is still playing with confidence at all? And how important is it for a defense to play with confidence?
Absolutely, Brandon. That's a great question. I definitely think so because, one, obviously, everybody has pride within themselves as players. So, nobody's ever going to just tank and dog it. And then pride within the defense. I think we were ranked 32nd in run defense. But guys had a chip on their shoulder going out there today, especially after the Packers put it out there that they were going to try to run the ball today. And I actually love the way our front seven, and secondary stepped up too, helping with tackling in the run game. I like how guys responded to that. And we had it on our mind today that we weren't going to stop the run. And for the most part, we did. We let a couple out, toward the end. But I think guys were playing with confidence. We lost Roby today. Early, I think after that first third down where we were supposed to get a stop and then, there's a penalty and the drive continued. So we had to make some adjustments. And we needed to make a couple more a little faster than we did, and that ended up getting us in the hole a little bit in this game. But at the same time, we went out there and we competed. Guys who were out there, they was like, hey, we're not going to just keep letting them do this. So let's make some changes. And we did it, and we made a couple stops. And then we battled. They made some changes, and they exploited some things. And then we just kept fighting, kept battling, man. So I think guys are playing with confidence. I think we're going to continue to play with confidence, continue to try to, change the narrative about us as a defense.
Cody Davis.
Hey, Michael, along those lines, how much did the absence of Bradley Roby actually affect the secondary from your perspective?
When you lose what's up, Cody? Great question. When you lose your starting corner like that, it's going to affect you. You had a guy, who may have been, playing and, part of our game plan to shadow Devontae Adams the whole game. And then, other guys are practicing to guard some other guys, right? But then he goes down in the very first series. And now we got to make, mad shifts, mad adjustments. And then as any, player, or I guess anybody in their job, that anytime you have to make adjustments, if you're not prepared, and you don't have the right mindset, then, you're probably not going to get the right results you want. So, we had guys that went out there and they battled, they competed. And, we needed to make a couple adjustments, make some game plans changes. And we did throughout the course of the game. Maybe we could have did a little sooner, but you definitely miss a guy like Roby. You plan on having your number one guy go against their number one guy all the time.
Last question for Mark Berman.
Michael, you spoke briefly with Aaron Rodgers after the game. What'd you say to him?
That's my guy, man. I mean, we got a mutual appreciation and respect for one another. Love to compete against him all the time. Love the stuff he does off the field. I think he respects me for a lot of things I do off the field as well. That's pretty much what it was. And every time you get a chance to compete against a guy like that, you love it. But when you get a chance to, talk to him after the game and that mutual respect is there, it's good, man. So, again, somebody who went undrafted like me coming into the NFL, I'm year 9, and I'm getting respect from a guy like Aaron Rodgers. That means a lot to me.
Thanks so much, Michael.
No problem. Take it.
Worried about the Packers defense, but you said last week that you were excited to play against Aaron Rodgers for the first time. Now that you have, and you saw the kind of game he had, what do you think about him in your first game?
He's a guy that you got to score a lot of points versus, because whenever they step on the field, they're trying to score points. You got to make sure you try to, match it as much as possible. You don't want to kind of compete, and try to go, toe to toe. But at the same time, you gotta make sure you're doing whatever you can to keep them off the field. And then whenever you get the ball, you got to score points.
Brandon.
Hey, Deshaun, earlier, Brandon Cooks told us that when we asked him, what could you guys do to be more consistent? He mentioned being more consistent in practice. Do you see anything that you guys can do either in practice or in preparation, meeting room, or anything like that you guys can do to help you guys be more consistent, even since you see the flashes on offense?
Most definitely. There's things that we can, definitely do and continue to improve detail-wise. And just kind of, making sure we're stepping on that. But, I agree with him. There's definitely ways where we can, continue to try to improve and try to be as consistent as possible. But, yeah, most definitely.
And then also, Deshaun, just as a leader of this team, can you just kind of describe what this is like for you being in this situation? I know we talked a little bit about it during the week, how this is kind of unfamiliar territory for you. But can you kind of put it into words for us, what this is like being 1-6?
Shit sucks, honestly. This is new to me, so I'm going through it just like everyone else. This is my first time experiencing something like this, so I'm just learning on the fly, trying to stay positive, continue to lead the guys, continue to come to work each and every day and try to improve, and just trying to find ways to win, and just continue to play hard. Do my job and not try to do too much and just kind of continue to do that. So, it's definitely new to me, and I'm just trying to, find my way and continue to improve and, have guys around me build me up and I build them up and, we just stick as one.
Mark Berman.
Deshaun, second half, your defense got some stops, several stops in a row, but y'all were not able to really capitalize to make a game of it. But you got the block punt. There were some moments there. How do you feel about what your offense did in the second half, given the fact there was a moment there y'all might have made a run at them?
Yeah, we could have made a run. The biggest thing is, of course, try to get points, regardless if it's a touchdown or not. But we just didn't do enough. We didn't capitalize. Getting those extra 4 points when we needed them. And, defense did a good job of getting those opportunities, but we just didn't do it as a whole team. So, we just didn't capitalize it, but you got to give the Packers credit. That's a very good defense over there, and they did their part of keeping us out of the end zone.
What do you try to do during the bye week?
Rest. Pretty much rest. That's it. I'm tired.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Sean. With the running game, what are you seeing after you hand off in terms of the blocking and the way the defense is attacking the running game?
I got to watch the film, especially on today's game, because a lot of times I'm kind of bootlegging out, trying to hold the back. So a lot of times I'm seeing the back end. I'm not seeing the initial run, run support and run block. So it'd be hard for me to answer that question right now. I would have to later on in the week and answer that question.
Speaking generally, how tough is it in the red zone for you guys right now in terms of what they're doing to try to defend you all?
They're just trying to stop the run, and then whenever we run past, it's a lot of extra defenders. So you got to have space, find space, and buy yourself some time to find guys to get open. So it's tough to score down there in the red zone. It's not easy to do that. That's one of the toughest spots to percentage-wise. Once you get down there, it's a little tough. So a lot of times, a lot of teams want to score, backed off, from the red zone, from the goal line. But that's it right there. You got to be able to run the ball in.
We have time for two more. Christy.
Deshaun, as a leader of this team, how important is it for you to make sure the guys stay positive and have the right attitude as y'all finish out this season?
It's very important. We don't want to. You got to continue to just keep fighting. You don't want to give up. You got to, still some football to continue to, play, and who knows what can happen. And right now, we just try to stretch and claw to get victories, as many victories as we can. I'm gonna go out there and play my hardest and try to win games. So I expect everyone else to do the same, and I bet they will.
Last one for John.
Deshaun, you mentioned being tired. How much of that is mental, dealing with the wear and tear and the grind of losing like you've never lost before?
That's a lot. It's everything, just from COVID to coaching change to losses to success to family. Just everything. So it's a good time for me to be able to kind of decompress this bye week, figure out, the second half of the season, the relax the body and mind, and just find some time and then come back to work and, just try to finish it off as strong as possible. So that's what I'm definitely going to do for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
JJ, what's it like chasing Aaron Rodgers and getting close to him and then find out he's already completed a great pass down the field?
What do you think that's like? Not great.
Mark Berman.
JJ, we've kind of asked you these questions several times this year, but now you're going into the bye week at 1-6. What are your feelings about this team going forward?
Got to get better.
Aaron Wilson.
JJ, as a leader, as a veteran on the team, what do you tell your teammates the state of the season, state of the team right now, as far as holding it together, keeping it together?
Show up to work and do your job.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, JJ, how would you assess your level of confidence in this defense and in this team right now, considering where everything is?
I mean, we're 1-6. You are what your record says you are.
And
John?
also,
Go ahead, Brandon.
I understand that you don't coach or play DB, but could you speak to how the injury to Bradley Roby just kind of threw things off for you guys in terms of whatever your game plan was today?
No, I know nothing about that.
John?
Can you talk about the way Rodgers played today and compare it to the ways you'd seen him play earlier in when you guys played against him?
He played very well today.
What did he do that made him play well?
Threw the ball to the receivers and they caught it.
Mark Berman?
JJ, y'all came close last week in the second half. Your defense had several stops in a row. So there was a chance something could happen if your offense could have done something. Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel for this team going forward?
Just got to go to work, get better.
Aaron Wilson. JJ, how would you characterize your emotions at this point? Just kind of, obviously it's frustrating. It's tough. You're not accustomed to losing around here, and you've won a lot of football games over the years. What's this like for you personally?
Yeah, frustrated. I'm angry. I mean, sucks. I don't know. Like I don't know what else I'm supposed to feel.
Thanks, JJ.
Mm-hmm.